So this is going to be a guide on how to install mods on the Retroid Pocket Flip 2, which is an Android gaming device. This mod guide will apply to any Android gaming device with an open file system that you can edit and move around files. And it will also apply to any Android device that can emulate Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Today we're going to be using Eden emulator, this one right here. And we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate playing. And I can just show you that we do have it working and prove that it does work with mods. So the mod that we're going to be testing is the Ganondorf skin to turn him into Demise. So usually you cannot play as Demise. This is a mod. So as you can see, running at a nice 60 frames per second on Eden emulator. If you want the Eden emulator settings, just go to the r/Retroid Pocket Flip wiki, which we will visit in a moment, and go to the settings library, and there you can see my Eden settings for this game. Alright, so I'll quit out of this. I'm basically using the graphics driver Turnip 24.1.0 R18 A6XX, and I'm keeping the Eden's Veil settings on the max on 1x resolution, and it works really well. But anyways, to get this mod going, first you're going to go to, I'm going to Firefox or any internet browser, or go to Game Banana, and they have lots of mods here. You can really use this guide for any mod, but we're just focusing on this one mod. It's really cool, lets you play as Demise. And you're just going to go down to this download link right here. All the mods will have the same type of download link. It's like a green arrow. Click on that and then press download. And it'll go to your downloads as a zip file. Leave it unzipped for now. Or leave it zipped. We're not going to unzip it yet. Next thing we're going to do is go to Reddit. And then we're going to go to the r/Retroid Pocket Flip 2 Reddit. Then we're going to press on the wiki right here. On the wiki, we can go to the per game emulator settings library. Then we're going to scroll down to the secret console settings for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So here you can see all my settings for Eden. And you can use this on other emulators. Whatever you want to run, you can use. But these two links right here for Arcropolis and Skyline, you're going to need these to modify the file system, the atmosphere file, to make sure that the mods will work. Because if you just try to put the mods in the sdmc folder within the emulator file system, it won't work. You need to add specific folders, special XFs and ROMFs folders that are held within a special atmosphere folder. And you're going to have to add a few folders as well and name them specific names, and then add your mods to those folders. So it's a little bit complex. I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. First thing you want to do is download Arcropolis right here from the GitHub. So release.zip right there, download. Download in progress, download completed, nice. Now go to Skyline. Assets, skyline.zip, download. Download in progress, good. Now we can go to our RAR app. If you don't have a RAR app, you can download it from the Google Play Store, or you could do this by plugging in your device with a USBC cable into your laptop and do it with a WinRAR on your desktop computer. You can manage all the files there with your mouse and keyboard. But I'm just going to do it on the device so you can see. So click on RAR, go to device storage, go to download, and select release.zip. That's Arcropolis. So check it off. You're going to want to unzip this one first. So press that button for unzip, then press browse. And then you're going to want to go to a very specific place. Go to device storage, then go to Android, then go to data, Then find your emulator. So mine is Eden, so there it is. Click on it, then go to Files. Then you would go all the way down to SDMC. And then right here, I already unzipped this. So what you will see when you unzip it is this folder called Atmosphere. That will show up once you unzip it. The Nintendo and Ultimate won't be there yet, but just wait and we'll put those there soon. So, okay, so just press OK. And then press OK. See, I already have it there, so it's asking me if I want to replace it. I'm just going to press cancel, but you will follow through and unzip it there. So then, what's next? We're going to, we're going to go back into RAR, go back into device storage, go back into downloads, and we're going to unzip skyline.zip. Right here, check it off. We're going to unzip it to a very specific location, so press browse. And then we're going to go back to the device storage, Android, same place almost, but a little bit different. So data, and your emulator, files, sdmc, but then we'll go inside the Atmosphere folder that you just put there, go inside the contents, and then you're going to have to choose your Super Smash Bros. Ultimate file, which is the game ID is 01006A800016E000, this one right here. Click on it, and then you're going to press OK, and you will see the XFs folder show up. All you will see is a ROMFs folder, but Skyline adds the XFs. So once you unzip Skyline, XFs will be there. So just press OK. I already have it there because I already unzipped it. And just press OK again. See how it's asking me? I'm not going to do this twice, so I'm pressing cancel, close. But you will follow through, and this will be the end result. You'll have XFs and ROMFs right next to each other. Now these are special XFs and ROMFs folders. So we're going to go into our file system and edit some stuff. So go to Retroid Pocket Flip 2, Android, data. We're just going to the same place that we just were, but we're doing it in the file system, not RAR. Eden emulator, files, SDMC, Atmosphere, contents. We're picking again this one. That's our game ID for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So these two folders, if you open up XFs, you're going to want to see this. That's good. These are the special files, the bin files that help the game connect with the apps. In ROMFs, you're going to see this, then this, then this, and that's good too. That's the bin file you need. So this is how it should look. You don't need to mess with this. You can go back, back, back. You finished this part of the guide. Congratulations. The next thing to do is you're going to create two folders. Now, you don't need to create Nintendo. It'll show up automatically when you start playing the game with the mods. You need to create Ultimate. So press here with these three dots, and then press on New Folder, and then type in lowercase Ultimate, and then just press Done, and you'll have your Ultimate folder. I'm just going to delete the second one I just made. So in the Ultimate folder, open it up, and you're going to create the folder called Mods. Use the same technique to create lowercase letters, MODS, that's it, mods. You don't need to create the Arcropolis folder. You can create one there, but the game will fill that in once you start using the mods. Now this mods folder, if you go in there, you can see the different mods that we have installed. I've unzipped the mod zip files right to this location. So the demise is already there. We'll delete it. So I can show you how you unzip it there. But this is it. Once the mods are in here, it's ready to go. You basically would just go into Eden emulator, press and hold on the game image, click add-ons, and then you toggle SDMC. This turns the mods on, this turns the mods off. Any mods that are in that folder, in the mods folder, will be activated by pressing that check off button. So right now I'll show you how to add mods. You're going to go to RAR, then your device storage, downloads, and we'll see the demise one. We check it off. That's the one we downloaded from Game Banana. And then we're going to unzip, browse, go to device storage, Android data, Eden emulator, files, sdmc, and then you go to ultimate, then you go to mods, and then you press OK. OK, boom. Now you'll see demise is in there, and that's it. Now your mods are going to be ready to go. So before we launch the game in Eden and demo the mods for you, we're just going to go and look at the file system so that you guys can see what a functioning file system looks like, even inside the mods folder, since I didn't really explore those. And because you do have to have the mods folders set up a specific way. And if you go in there and start changing stuff and adding stuff to an individual mod, you're going to want to know how it's set up. So first we're going to go into folders, or sorry, files. And then we're going to go into Retroid Pocket Flip 2, Android, data, Eden emulator, or whatever emulator you're using, files, sdmc, ultimate, mods. And now we have our different mods, right? And the mod name actually doesn't matter. This is the part that does not matter. Everything else matters. So you can name it whatever you want, as long as you know what each one is. I do have a 120 FPS mod that I just put on. I don't know if it really changes anything. Maybe it keeps it a little bit more stable at 60 or around 50 something. It might not even work unless you have the update 13.0.3, but I'm testing it and seeing what happens. But they're so easy to download, you might as well just add a bunch, right, and test them out. So yeah, we can go into one of these. This is a skin mod for Palutena. It also has physics though. So inside the mod folder, you're always going to see fighter first. That's the correct next folder. It's a lowercase fighter. Click on that, and then you'll see their name, but lowercase. And some of them have strange names, like they're in Japanese. Like for example, Korin is named, where is it? Korin is named, if you go into fighter, you'll see Kamui. That's a Japanese name for Korin, so just make sure you have the correct name. Usually the mod folder will have the correct name in there, but for Lucina, it's Lucina. There's one that's kind of interesting too. Where is it? Rosalina. If you go to Rosalina, it's Rosetta. That's her file name. And that's like the way the game recognizes the character. For Bailiff, it's weird. It's called Master with a lowercase m. So you're going to want to have the correct name. That's important. If you don't have the correct name, sometimes it won't work. But also if you don't have them in the right place, like for example, if you go into a folder, Palutena, and you see another folder called Palutena, it's not going to work. It's only going to work if you have Fighter as the next folder. So as we go forward, you see, again, the name that the game recognizes in lowercase. It might be Japanese, it might be a different word, but in this case, it's the same name, but lowercase, which is easy. And then model and motion. So the model is where the skin is held, the motion is where the physics are held. We'll review each folder. You might have different types of mods, might be organized a little differently, but just in case you're interested in skins and physics, this is what it looks like, what it correctly looks like. So if you go into model, then you see body, that's correct, lowercase body, and model is also lowercase too. All these things are lowercase. So model, body, and then you have C00 and C01. This corresponds to the different clothing slots. So as you change the clothing with the right bumper and left bumper, you start out in 00, that's the first slot, and then you have 01, that's the second slot, and then 02, all the way to 07, that's the 8th slot. So it's always one less than what it is. So yeah, 00 slot, and then inside that slot you have the actual mod files. Like they're usually bin or whatever. But yeah, that's simple, right? And then you'll know how to access that skin by what slot is right here. So for example, in Palutena, if I want to access my skins that I downloaded, I'll have to go into slot 00 and slot 01. In Demise, we can show, as we have Fighter and UI as usual. And UI is basically like, you know how when you change the clothing, it shows like a little picture of Demise. Sometimes it won't, it'll just show Ganondorf, and then you'll go into the game and you'll be Demise. That's because you don't have a UI folder. So if you want an image, you'd have to add a UI folder right here if you want an image like when you're selecting clothes, which is kind of cool. So for example, if you have skin for Samus, see this one has no UI folder, so you won't see anything different for like the different clothes selections. You won't see your skin there as an option, but it will work. You just won't see it in the menu. So for this one, if you go into the UI folder, I can show you. The next folder is going to be lowercase replace. The next folder is going to be lowercase chara. The next folder is going to be lowercase chara -0, chara -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever. These are the different slots. So different UI pictures for each one. So that's why you will get in chara 6, this slot will have a picture of Demise. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what the other ones are, but they might just be stock photos. Yeah, that's the file system. Even for Demise, if we want to look at the fighter file, we go into fighter, you'll see Ganon. That's the name that the game recognizes for this fighter, lowercase, and then you see model and motion. So in the motion, you have body. Oh yeah, we didn't show a motion file yet. We showed model, so you have body, sword, and then the slot, and then the mods. Sword, and then the slot, and then the mods. And if you go to motion, if you go to body, you have the slot, and then you also have a physics file. These are like the physics animations. So we have animations and skins for each mod, usually. Sometimes you'll have other stuff, like I think in Lucina, there's a config. I don't know if that's necessary or not, but I think in Rosalina, there's other stuff too. Yeah, info.to, yeah. Fighter, Rosetta. Yeah, so you have very similar setups of fighter, Rosetta, model, body, different slots, slot 03, and then you have all this mod files. Okay, so that's how the file system should look. If you have it set up like this, it's going to be correct. Right, mods in the ultimate folder. So ultimate, then mods. And next to mods, you'll see Arcropolis, and you'll see these things show up. The game naturally fills these slots up. In the Nintendo folder, the game will also naturally put this here. I don't know what these do. They're both empty, but yeah, placeholders. In the Atmosphere folder, you'll see contents, and then you'll find your game. And then you have the XFs and ROMFs as we put it in there before. This is what allows the game to use the ROMs, the mods, sorry. Yeah, so that's what it's going to look like. Make sure you review this section if you're having any issues with your mods. So you go to data, Eden, or whatever emulator you're using, sdmc, ultimate, mods, and go in one, check it out, fighter, Bayonetta, model, emotion, body, 01 and 00 and 01. And this is good to know how to use because, for example, if you have a mod and you're like, oh, why don't they have the physics that I want? The character doesn't have those animations that I want. They just look like the character. That means the model folder's there, but the motion folder's not, or something's wrong with the way you organize the motion folder. Okay. So just make sure you compare to this because all these work perfectly. I've tested them before. All right, so now we'll go and do a demo. So if I go into here, yeah, see it's unchecked. So the mods won't work if it's unchecked, but once I check it off, we'll go back and we'll show you that it works. Oh yeah, and always have your device on high performance when you're playing more high performing games. You don't want it to overheat. Turns on the fan and everything. Smash. This one's pretty cool. So let's see if it works now. There it is. So you know that the mod can be toggled on and off so easily. We do Demise versus Mewtwo. I feel like that's a good mod. he just used hypnosis on me? So yeah, there you go. 60 frames per second gameplay, mods working. Pretty cool setup, huh? Anyways, enjoy and leave a comment if you have any questions, and always visit the r/Retroid Pocket Flip subreddit for more guides, settings, and gameplay videos.